What's going on, everybody? Welcome to a new collaboration project. I'm here with Trenton Hill with Hilltime Sports, and man, we've been talking on Discord for a little bit. It's been great. There's been a lot of good collaboration, and this has pretty much crescendoed in the form of this collaborative show. How are you doing on this beautiful Friday night, Trenton? Talk to me.
Honestly, honestly, I am super excited to talk football with someone that actually wants to do tech checks, actually wants to do microphone checks and camera checks. It's very hard to do that with your brother, who you don't work well with, but
Uh,
this is going to be so much fun.
I was gonna say we've been tech checking and trying to figure out OBS for what the past half an hour I give it now.
Yeah. Hey, that's a new record. Sometimes it takes hours.
Hey,
Sometimes it takes.
quality over quantity, man. Listen, we are definitely here to talk football, and man, you've got to be feeling incredible about your Philadelphia Eagles. What are they now? 9-2. Have they had a bye? Are they
Eight
nine
and
and
two.
two?
Eight
Eight
and
and
two.
two? Eight
Eight
and
and
two.
two. Yeah.
Philly, I mean they're doing great this year. I know there's been some I don't want to call it scuffling, but you know there's been some voices, of course, on that offense. Now that defense is incredible. I mean, Jalen Carter is an absolute monster in the middle. Jalen Phillips has been just a, I don't know, a godsend of an addition to that defense. Um, where it's standing right now, how are you feeling about the Philadelphia Eagles? Obviously, the offense is one thing, and I think both of our teams are really similar in that regard. But how are you feeling about the Philadelphia Eagles? Talk to me a little bit. What's going on with those guys?
I'm going to be 100% honest. Last year at this time, I had a very good feeling about the Super Bowl. I was like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to win this. This year, it's with all the drama and with everything that's going on, I'm just like, I don't know. Defense, I would call if the defense to me is dynastic.
Okay.
I'm saying like they are like up there with like great defenses. They're up there with the Broncos on defense
Oh,
right now. The
absolutely,
last couple
absolutely.
weeks, but offensively, the running game was really good last year, which covered up a lot of the holes on the offensive side of the ball. This year, though, we don't have that running game, and it's Jalen Hurts has played efficient. He's played very well. I just want this offense to get going, and maybe it will against Dallas. But right now, I'm kind of sketchy. I don't know where I am with them right now.
No, and I absolutely understand that too, especially where our teams are so similar. You know, the Broncos have been, we've been waiting for that real, consistency to come out of the offense there. I mean, we saw some good things against Kansas City with Bo Nix, and he's kind of been the focal point for the Broncos here as the season's gone along. Obviously, he's been much maligned. Colin Cowherd decided to bring up the idea of drafting a new quarterback, which is absolutely asinine when you look at how things are going. I mean, Bo Nix is the quarterback of a 9-2 team, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, not
it's
much to ask for.
it's Bo Nix has had his inconsistencies this year, but he still has, I think, the foundation to be able to be a great quarterback in this league. Maybe not, quite to the elite level of like where Mahomes was in his prime or Josh Allen, but the Broncos don't need Bo Nix to be Josh Allen or Patty Mahomes. I really think with Bo, and like I said, we saw a lot of good things against Kansas City, where and this was something that I was really watching during the game too, and I mentioned this when I was doing my live call, that I was really watching his footwork. Was he setting his feet? And for the most part during that game, he was. Bo was setting his feet, and Bo was throwing absolute dimes. He wasn't, the quote unquote overthrowing guys. Obviously, the Broncos are able to ride what has been just an elite defense this season, to be able to help Knicks while the offense has struggled. My thing with them though is, and we'll get into this a little later on. Whereas we'll get to some of these games first where Denver's on a bye week. But the thing that concerns me the most with the Broncos is they have an even worse running game than the Philadelphia Eagles now that J.K. Dobbins is out. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Denver decides to do in that regard. How Sean Payton decides to call the offense. Now, I think if you get this version of Bo Nix, I think you can lean on the pass game a little bit, but I mean, Bo Nix has been such a week-to-week quarterback until the fourth quarter this year that you really can't bank on one thing. Is there kind of something similar with the Eagles going on this season where the run game hasn't really been there the same way it was last year?
How would I explain it? The Eagles' run game, you can notice the offensive line is really banged up. They're not what they were last year. You're seeing, like, I think against the Lions, you're seeing Cam Jurgens struggle, and like people are blowing past him and getting to Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley has, I think, they're tied with the Seattle Seahawks with the most negative run plays.
Yikes.
In the NFL right now. Passing wise, also, they have the most negative play, one of the most negative plays in the passing game.
Really?
Run game hasn't been there. Yeah, they're like a 9.2% negative pass play.
Just because
like 1 out of every 10.
Just because of how many screens Sean Payton likes to call that go for hardly anything, I am incredibly surprised that that they're not worse than Denver. And maybe I mean maybe Denver's worse, and I don't know that percentage off the top of my head, but that is really I'm shocked to hear that. I mean I think the difference so far though is and I mean maybe not a difference, but another huge parallel between these teams is these offenses have been able to do just enough to really help the defense. I mean when we really get down to the nitty gritty, to help the defense bail them out of some kind of tough spots. Obviously, Saquon's not doing his thing like he was last year, and man, Saquon's season last year was incredible. And you know, this Broncos offense, there's still a lot of youth on this offense where everyone's trying to mesh. And then, you know, your lead running back goes down there as well. There's a lot of parallels. They're just not the exact same situation, kind of, if you're picking up what I'm putting down.
Yeah, and you have to remember, like, no running back has had a back-to-back 2,000-yard season.
No.
You have, and even then, like, you have to remember, like, these running backs, you're now he's facing, last year he faced like a 20% loaded box. This year it's 35% of the time.
Which doesn't shock me, honestly.
Yeah, they're daring Jalen Hurts to throw, and Jalen Hurts needs to hit, like, he's more efficient this year, but he needs to hit those throws. He needs to hit those reads. I think against Minnesota, he was 4 for 4 under center with the touchdown at 121 yards.
Okay.
They need to do a lot more of that. I'm very much against running from the shotgun. I hate running from the shotgun, and the Eagles do a lot of that. And a lot of like zone blocking, it's just not working. They're not adapting. And for Denver, and I'm going to say this about Bo Nix. Bo Nix is going to be a good quarterback, in my opinion. Just if you look at what Colin Cowherd said about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, man.
That he was a bust. Like, you have to look at Colin Cowherd's his MO is clickbait.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
Shows nowadays are all clickbait.
I think that sports TV as a whole now, honestly, like those mainstream sports shows, and I feel like Brandon and Tom mentioned this on GPS, not to really like bungle them in here, throw them in here, but like I swear they mentioned something about that during one of their GPS shows this week, where it's like sports media as a whole nowadays, where it's like these big like ESPN conglomerates or like these big shows, they're not the same. It's all these quote unquote hot takes. It's what's gonna get the most reactions. It's what have you. And by the way, if you, viewer, want some genuine content here where two guys are just shooting the shit about football, be sure to subscribe to both my channel and go check out Trent on Hilltime Sports. He does some amazing content over there. I mean, this guy's going to be the co-host, obviously. Man, we're going to do some good stuff around here, but let's keep it moving here. Do we want to get into, what are we thinking, games first or playoff picture?
I did want to say one more thing. I think like a lot of like YouTubers, are more of that vein of real life, like sports talk. Yeah, there's a lot of humor, there's a lot of that,
Of
but
course.
if you, I don't know if you ever remembered like 2000s. Maybe you're a little too young for this, not to age you, but like in the 90s and 2000s, it was real sports talk.
No, no, absolutely. Well, and like going back and like watching what I've seen as well, like sports media back then, like they were just trying to inform you, and I, not to get into like bigger picture or anything, but it felt like everything as a whole back then was like give you the numbers, give you all the things you needed to know, and let you form your own opinions. There
The
wasn't
debates were there. The
the
debates were
they
there, but
were
they're not hot takes.
right.
My
It's
problem with
there's
sports
nuance
media is,
to it.
mhm, that's why I try not to do hot takes at all. Like I
I
will never, not never, but I try not to.
I try to steer clear of them, but every now and again, when you've got a take that goes against the grain, where you know what you're seeing, but the national media says one thing, you've got to shoot it, obviously.
Yeah, yeah. We could actually move on to games if you want, though. Like,
Yeah, no, I am absolutely thrilled to. Let's start with this Thursday night matchup, man. Houston taking down the Buffalo Bills in Houston. General Mills continues this Texans winning streak. Wasn't the greatest game from him. He does throw 2 touchdowns. But man, the thing I want to talk about is this Houston defense, man. They are maniacal, man. They get to Josh Allen 8 times, force 3 turnovers. They win the turnover battle. Even though they lose the time of possession battle, Houston was able to do more. And that defense is a huge reason why, man. I mean, we get into some of these numbers here on the defense. I mean, who went absolutely nuts for these guys? Let's give this a look. Will Anderson goes bonkers, 2.5 sacks. Daniil Hunter's got 2 of his own. There's 4.5 on the board. Safety's getting on the action with Henry To'oTo'o, which is a weirdly hard name to pronounce. Tim Settle gets in with a sack. Derek Barnett gets a sack. Haven't heard that name in forever. And then if you're ready for a deep cut here, Mario Edwards Jr. comes in with a half a sack. I mean, Houston just got after it. Kalen Bullock is a standout player for Houston. I mean, I'm not even going to call this a hot take. I think some people would, but I think Houston's gearing up for a playoff push, man.
I think they are. I think they edge out the Jags. If you look at Kalen Bullock, he had 2 interceptions.
Right, and
Which,
just man, I this Houston defense, I mean, for as much as Denver's defense and Philadelphia's defense like really get hyped in the media, like this Texans defense, they are going to start getting more attention now that they're winning games, now that they're up to a winning record, and now that they've beat Josh Allen on national television, man. This Houston defense is legit.
this team, honestly, I think their defense is ranked number 1 in points against. Last time I checked, they were like 14.3 points against, which is really good. Now, if the now if you could get that was my girlfriend. Now, if you could get the offense a little bit more, I know they've been playing a little bit better with Jalen Mills. I mean, is that not Jalen Mills?
Davis
It's
Mills.
Davis Mills. My apologies. But they've been playing pretty good with him. CJ Stroud comes back. He's in concussion protocol, but
And he has been there for the last little bit.
Honestly, I think the Bills are in trouble. I think the Bills are in trouble.
I think they are too. I've been saying it for a minute too. Maybe not directly on my podcast, but like when I did my my playoff picture short, I did notice like the Bills just need their defense to be okay. And they're not even getting that. I mean, this Houston offense has been putrid all season long, and yet they're able to go and score 23 on this defense. This has been an awful offense all season long. I don't know if Buffalo has I think Buffalo has multiple issues. I think their receiving core, I have doubts about it. I mean, it's Khalil Shakir and nobody else. Excuse me. It's Khalil Shakir and nobody else.
I would say that Khalil Shakir wouldn't even be a number 2 wide receiver on most teams.
You don't think so?
Maybe at number 2, but not at number 1.
I mean, Buffalo's missing that juice on offense without a pure number 1. Obviously, they lose Stephon Diggs, and you've definitely seen a bit of a regression. Now, they're running the ball more, and it's working. James Cook has been outstanding these last couple of years. But without, I mean, who does Josh Allen have to throw to consistently, man? I mean, Dawson Knox isn't doing the stuff he used to do. I mean, Dalton Kincaid, yeah. I mean, Shakir's been the guy, but I mean, if you shut him down, I mean, who is it? Ty Johnson goes for 45 yards in this game, and then after that, I mean, no other receiving player on the team has more than 26 yards.
There is nobody that strikes any fear into you on Buffalo's receiving core. That's the problem.
Absolutely. There's no. They don't have a guy.
They have a bunch of guys in Khalil Shakir who kind of he shows up and then he disappears.
For sure. I feel like Shakir's been a streaky guy, and of course, you know, I don't watch a ton of Buffalo Bills football, but it just feels like Shakir's been a streaky guy. I do think the Bills are in a little bit of trouble. They're still in a good position right now, especially with a tiebreaker over Kansas City. I don't know if Buffalo plays the Jags or if they already have this year, perhaps.
I don't think they've played them yet, but they might.
Do the Bills play the Jags? Let's go look at that schedule. Because if they do, I mean, I worry about Buffalo in that game, to be honest. If they play the Jags, they do not.
They play the Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Browns, Eagles, and Jets. So
I think the Bills have a favorable enough schedule to get to the playoffs. I just can't put any faith in them that they're going to do anything in the playoffs.
I don't think it's all Josh Allen's fault either. I think he just doesn't have.
I think Josh Allen's the victim here.
Oh yeah, but I mean, he's made his share of mistakes, but
absolutely. But when you're carrying the team the way he is right now, the way he has to, with this offense, you're gonna be prone to it. I feel like.
Yeah. And what's his name? Is his name Joe Brady? Doesn't really offer much in the way of like running the ball. He doesn't run the ball very enough. They need to do that with James Cook because that's their number 1 guy.
Especially right now where Josh Allen needs all the help he can get on that offense, man. Yeah, I think my biggest takeaway there is the Bills are in trouble. The Texans, I think, are gearing up for a run. They just need their offense to do enough.
They're hot. They're hot. Now.
They're getting warm. They're more than warm. I'd say about as I'd say about as hot as Kevin Stefanski's seat right now.
Woo! That was pretty hot.
Let's get into this next game here. First game on Sunday that pops up here, 11 a.m. window Mountain Time. Colts, Kansas City. This has major implications, and I was talking about this in my playoff videos, where this is the game where Kansas City is going to determine whether or not they stay on life support for their playoff hopes, or whether or not the plug gets pulled from the wall. And the way this Indianapolis team is constructed, I think they can. I think they can beat Kansas City. I don't think, and this is the thing. It's pissed me off a little bit, but the national media is still buying into this Mahomes magic, into this Chiefs are going to get it together. Colin Cowherd had him at fire trucking 9 in his power rankings. This is a 5-5 ball club. The quarterback's not playing great right now, and I get that it's a generational talent at quarterback, but he's not doing the things that he has done with arguably a better receiving core than he had last year. He's got Rashee Rice back. He's got Xavier Worthy. Travis Kelce isn't, I think, as bad as people are making him out to be this year. So what is the major malfunction with the Chiefs here? Or I guess with the national media that is keeping this team so high as they are. I think it's that faith in the Mahomes magic, but at the same time, they've had every chance to do that this year, and yet they're 0-5 in games that they were 12-0 in last year. In those one-score games. What are you thinking?
Honestly, you realize just how important Joe Thuney was
Oh,
in the offensive line.
absolutely.
Like, even though they were bad in the Super Bowl, Joe Thuney was very good. And now look at him. He on the Bears, Caleb Williams is taking like less sacks than he did last year. That
Mm.
offensive line is better. I don't know how I feel about that new. Is it a left tackle? Right, it's a tackle, but they have a
Yeah,
new tackle, still
what's the
young,
guy's name? He's a rookie
Simmons,
this
right?
year, I think. Yeah, Simmons.
But it's their offensive line. There's a lot of regression from Kelsey, and that was his little security blanket. They're
Mhm.
not getting the calls like they did a couple years ago. That's just the fact of it. Like, I'm an Eagle. Like, when the Eagles get a good call against them, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll take the call. It was a bad call, but I'll take the call. Any fan would do that.
Right.
Um, I think defensively they're still very good tacklers. I just think it's the offensive line and it's the the age factor.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, and even that defense isn't exactly playing the way they used to. I mean, Steve Spagnuolo basically calls like 4 plays at this point.
Mhm.
Dave Tube and that special teams, they don't have the same magic they had. I mean, if you remember a couple of years ago, Dave Tube was a head coaching candidate because he was doing
Mm.
such a good job with the special teams. And this year, and we saw that in the Denver game, you've got two huge returns from Marvin Mims and a blocked kick by a Broncos backup offensive tackle. And I'm not even puffing Denver up here. I am absolutely downing on Kansas City because these things have been going wrong that in previous years didn't. I do not have the same faith or the fear of the Chiefs that I would have had even last year because
I
it's
think
been so shaky for them so far, and they're not winning those one-score games like they used to.
you're never gonna like we're never gonna see that 12-0. It'll be a while before we see a 12-0 record in one score games.
Absolutely.
And
Well,
we
and they did it in some crazy ways too. Obviously, last year at Arrowhead, they block a Broncos game-winning field goal attempt, which I'm still a little salty about it, but I'm less salty now because Bo Nix is 2-0 against the Chiefs, 1-1 against Mahomes.
yeah. I mean, also you have that failed pass interference call against the Falcons.
That fumbled snap by the Raiders last year.
Mm-hmm. You had a lot of luck, and luck is it's
It's a
it's
cruel
just something that
mistress.
goes. Hmm. But yeah, I think the Colts are really good. I think the Colts win this game.
I
I
think
think
they
it's
do
going to be a
too.
lot closer than people think, though. I think the Chiefs will fight until the end.
Oh, I as well. The Chiefs aren't gonna die quietly. I think Indianapolis. I think their path to victory here it goes through Jonathan Taylor. Everyone is pitting JT, rightfully so, as an MVP candidate, and I absolutely think he should up to this point in the year. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he is the cog in this Colts offensive machine that makes it move. He is the torque and the horsepower in this Colts offense, and pun was entirely intended, by the way. I'll take that one for the docket there. But I mean, Jonathan Taylor is what makes this offense move, and that in the play action game especially has really helped Daniel Jones this season bloom into this, almost Geno Smith-esque surprise story this season that's made them what they are. I think they're getting some guys back on the defense as well, just in the secondary. So that's going to be there for him. They've got Sauce Gardner, who I still think is a good corner. I don't know that he was getting used quite right with the Jets here these last year and a half or this last year, calendar year. I I do still like Sauce Gardner, and maybe I just haven't seen enough of this regression from him because, again, I am hyper focused on the Broncos most of the time.
Mhm.
But I think this Colts defense has pieces. I think they just need to put it together.
I think a lot of the problem with Sauce Gardner is he doesn't get a lot of interceptions. He shuts down the one side of the field from what I've seen,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't get interceptions, which is what people look at nowadays.
Right.
I'd rather have someone who can cover and doesn't allow any catches. I think he only allows like 2 catches a game.
I was going to say, if I've got a guy shutting down a side of the field to the point where it's 10 on 10, I'm happy with that as a defensive coordinator. That's what won Pat
Mm-hmm.
Surtain Defensive Player of the Year last season, really.
Mm-hmm.
And, Pat Surtain was in the same category before he got injured. He's not getting picks because nobody's targeting him.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, so we'll see
rightfully
what
so.
we'll see what happens with that game.
I've got Colts 24-20.
I would say, like, honestly, I think like 19-27,
Oh, really?
something like
Okay,
that.
you've got a wider margin than I do. Okay. We are in
Uh,
agreement, though, that Indy is
number
winning that
one,
game.
number one scoring offense
That's
is
true.
the Colts, and
Hey,
number 8.
if the Broncos can put 22 on that Chiefs scoring defense, we'll see what Indy can do to him. I think it really does depend on Daniel Jones, but I don't think he's going to be asked to do a ton because they have
No,
Jonathan Taylor.
maybe, but has the Chiefs defensive tackle, like, how are they doing against running backs?
Just rushing defense wise?
Mm-hmm.
I think they've been pretty locked down this season. I'll pull it up on ESPN, but
Yeah.
I think they've
My
been
bad.
pretty good against the run. But this Colts O-line is so good as
Yeah,
well that, I think you've got to have faith that they'll find the yards that they need.
that's true.
Let's go rushing yards per game here. I think that's a better stat. Yeah, they're up there in the top 10.
Okay, so it's going to be an interesting.
So they're 100 yards flat per game.
Okay, well, they he is getting a lot of touchdowns, so
He is. No,
that's what
Jonathan Taylor has
matters.
been an absolute monster. Fun fact, though, Indianapolis has a better run defense than Kansas City does.
And
Now,
Kansas City.
yeah, Kansas City doesn't run the ball, though. I will
Who do you?
say Indy's passing defense is bottom 8.
It's gonna be an interesting one.
But like I said, they are getting some guys back.
Yeah.
I've still got Indy winning this thing.
Me too.
Yeah. Not a lot to really break down with this one. I mean, there is some, but I mean, Seahawks Titans. There's no way Seattle loses this game.
Sorry, Anthony. That's my brother.
There's
Number one pick.
I mean the Tennessee Titans are god awful, and I mean Cam Ward put it best a couple of months ago. They ass.
I've never seen a worse team except for, like, I didn't watch the Browns that season. They were like 0-16. I watched Lions might be worse.
I watched the Browns that year. They're as bad as you think. Deshaun Kaiser should not have been the starting quarterback of that team, man. I will say that.
I'm going to tell you this. The Titans shouldn't have beat the Cardinals.
Oh, absolutely not. It was a stupid fumble on the goal line that won them that game.
And as I call
and
it,
who was
the
that?
unholy roller.
Who was that? DeMarcado that fumbled that?
Yeah. And then you had that interception I call it the unholy roller because he rolled it backwards into the end zone and the Titans recovered it.
Oh, that's crazy. I will say Tennessee's defense total-wise, yards per game, isn't great. They're bottom 9 in the NFL defensively. And then, I mean, do we even need to say anything about this offense? 32nd in the league. They're like 150 yards from being 31st in total yards. They're in company with the Browns and the Raiders. They're 15 yards per game under the Cleveland Browns, who have been led by Joe Flacco before he got traded and Dylan Gabriel. This Seattle defense, if we go take a look at that, I mean, this is a very stoppable object against ungodly force of nature. Seattle's only given up 301 yards a game on average. Pass defense has been pretty good for them as well. They're top half of the league here. I mean, I'd have to count numbers, but it's like 4, 8, 12. They're like 14th, so they're above average in the pass game. Their run defense has been sick this year. They're top 6. They're 6th in the NFL. This game is going to get ugly as long as Sam Darnold can not turn the ball over.
It's basically like a car going up against a horse.
Hydrogen bomb versus screaming or versus coughing baby.
Tank versus musket type of matchup. It's not pretty, and I think Seattle's going to win.
Seattle should have
If
an
they
easy
lose,
win.
but yeah.
Where were you
got,
going though if they lose? Where were you going with that though? I am interested to.
I have been. I started like doing power rankings, and I started this new thing where I bless a team. I'll pick cards and like bless a team.
Okay, like tarot cards.
And no. Like a prayer.
Okay,
Like
okay.
it's like kind of like a funny like prayer thing. Like, oh, may your stars stand upright, and
Okay.
then at the end it says, "May the Lord give you victory." I picked the Seahawks from the deck of cards that I had.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
someone mentioned, "Oh, if you curse me, I'm gonna be so mad at you." So, yeah,
I've got the
like,
Seahawks and I've got Seattle in this one, and to be honest, I'm not going to be kind. I've got 30-7.
maybe more.
Maybe more. This offense can score points in bunches, but
I need JSN on my fantasy team to score points. So
I am
I'm
not
like 40 points.
I am not bound by the constraints of fantasy football.
I'm in the playoffs right now, so I'm like, I need it.
Hey, there you go. Next one in the morning window here. Let's see if we can kind of blitz through a couple of these here. Vikings Packers. JJ McCarthy playing like shit this year. Let's get that out of the way. However, the Packers are equally not shit, but they're inconsistent. They are really, really inconsistent. I think Jordan Love has this tendency to have some troll games. And I said this when I was breaking down the Broncos schedule in my playoff video. The Packers don't have an offensive identity. I don't think they have a pure number one. I don't really know that they run the ball enough, and I think Josh Jacobs is hurt too, that I can't fall in love with this, pun actually unintended there. I can't fall in love with this Packers team. Their defense is sick, man. Total yards, they are sixth in total yards. Offensively, though, they're just too inconsistent for me up to this point. Like their raw numbers look good, but Jordan Love every now and again just has this game where he kind of malfunctions a little bit. And I mean, you look at the Panthers game, especially. That's a game that Bryce Young threw for 102 yards, and the Packers lost that one at Lambeau because Jordan Love was throwing some. I'm going to put it bluntly here. Jordan Love was throwing some bullshit.
It was Ray Charles out there.
I'm sorry. I mean, people talk about, and not to really bring the Broncos back into this or Bo Nix, but people have called Bo Nix Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, Jordan Love has been a little bit of a Jekyll and Hyde quarterback this season, especially without that real identity for the Packers this year. And I mean, they're not a great rushing offense. They're bottom half of the league, just about. Like, it's not completely awful, but they're not running the ball you would like to see, the way you would like to see.
I actually reserved the nickname Dr. JJ and Mr. 9 for JJ McCarthy.
Okay.
He goes from like probably a nice guy to like a crappy quarterback. So that's like from good guy to bad guy type of thing. But like, no, yeah, I could see Jordan Love is very inconsistent, especially in the last like few games. He just been turning the ball over. I mean, they did play an Eagles defense that's ranked, I think, 8th in points allowed right now.
Let's see if I can actually pull that up. They are 2, 4, 6. You nailed it on the head. 8th.
8th allowed. They played. Who did they play last week? They played. They won last week, right?
Yeah, the Giants, because Jameis Winston started that game.
Okay, yeah, they beat the Giants, but it wasn't a pretty game.
No, it was. And I take the Jake Plummer approach with victories, where there are no ugly wins. There are very unattractive wins, but there are unattractive wins and there are ugly losses. And I
Yes.
mean, the Packers have had their share of ugly losses this year just because of how inconsistent they can be. Now, their defense is sick, especially in points per game, only allowing 19.6. I think that's going to be enough for them to beat J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings. I think it's going to be closer than people want to think, though.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be like a 16-6 game.
Yeah, I could see a 20. I could see a 20-10 game, 24-10 game.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. I think
Green Bay wins this. Green Bay wins. It's at Lambeau.
Yeah, Green Bay wins this. It's going to be a defensive game
for sure.
I think.
No, absolutely. Both of these both of the defenses are good. Green Bay's is just better, especially with Micah Parsons. Dude, Micah Parsons is gonna put J.J. McCarthy on a poster, I fear.
And J.J. McCarthy is playing for the Packers this week, so
pretty much. Hey, we got to throw Grossi a bone where we can get one here.
He needs it right now. He needs it.
Absolutely, man. He's in shambles with the Packers this year. Next one, and man, there's a lot of morning window games. Jets Ravens. Tell me why the New York Jets are not going to score more than 10 points. Because they're not.
Tyrod Taylor is their quarterback. He's a good guy, but I think he's passed.
I think he's been dealt a bad hand sometimes as well. He got stabbed in the lung with the Chargers. And that's what got Herbo on the field. The Jets are just awful.
Jets are the Jets. They haven't been good since 1969. Well, they've been inconsistent.
They've had some years.
69 or 68. And
I will say, okay, and I'm going to bring up a number here. In the past, let's see, since the Rams game on October 12th, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, in the last 5 games, the Ravens have not allowed an opponent to score more than 19 points. You want to know who they allowed that 19 to of all teams?
It's a crappy team, right?
The Browns? Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings. Did they lose that one? They did.
The Vikings lost that. No, the Ravens won that. The Ravens are winners of 4 straight here to get them back to 5-5. Now, that defense is playing better, and they are playing against one of the most ineffective offenses in the National Football League. They have been an offense to offense this season.
Yeah, I could see that. I have the Ravens.
I do too.
There's an inkling of me that kind of thinks there's going to be an upset, but that's just.
I don't think it's going to be the Jets. Not in Baltimore.
No, it's. Not.
I do think the Jets can keep it close-ish, even without some of those defensive pieces now. Like I think Aaron Glenn still has them somewhat motivated, and maybe I'm misreading the Jets, but I think they can keep it kind of close for a good chunk of the game. I still think it's a 2-score game at the end of the day. I'm feeling a 30-16.
Yeah, 24
or maybe a 28-16.
I would go 24 to like 16, 24-16. Jets have one more win in my opinion.
You think so?
That they're one more win in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
They got out a win somewhere. But not this week.
Not this week. No, they're not winning in Baltimore. Next morning window game, third to last one, actually. Giants-Lions. I mean, man, despite everything going wrong for the Giants this year, I mean, they're still fighting. They fired Brian Daboll. They've played, 3 different quarterbacks this year. Jackson Dart's going to be out again, so it's going to be the Jameis Winston show once again. This Detroit defense is kind of underrated. I don't hear a lot of people talking about this Detroit defense. Now, the offense, and we definitely saw in that Philadelphia game on Sunday night, that you can rattle this offense for sure. You can rattle this Detroit offense a little bit. And, Detroit doesn't have Ben Johnson. They're still in total yards per game. They're still 5th. They're still making things happen, and I really think that they're going to be looking to, take some anger out against a team here after that loss to Philadelphia, where it dropped them from the 1 seed. I mean, Detroit's defense, I mean, they're fifth as well in points per, or in yards per game. We look at points per game, they're a little worse than that, but they're still here in this top half of teams where, I mean, you've got your upper echelon: Houston, LA, Rams, Denver, KC, New England, Seattle, Green Bay, Philly, Indy, and then Detroit. They're playing good football, and they're, I mean, 20.6 a game. They're a half point off of Indianapolis here, and obviously, Indy is what they are as well. I mean, I think we're gonna get a pissed off Lions team, and this is either a weirdly close game that the Giants play really well until the end, or it's an absolute disaster class for Jameis Winston, and they lose like 30-7, 28-7.
I think Jameis Winston's going to throw 2 interceptions.
I could see it.
And Jahmyr Gibbs is going to run angry. He's going to have about 130, 140 yards.
I will say this Giants defense by points per game is bottom 4.
Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs is going to run all over him. He did not play well against Philly. He's going to be angry. But Dan Campbell, you have to realize, like, he's going to go for it on 4th down. It's the same thing that doomed Mike Ditka back in the day when I was talking to my friend. He was telling me Micah Ditka did the same thing, and it cost him a lot of games. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that Dan Campbell learns from his mistake. You're supposed to punt the ball on 4th down and kick field goals, and then at the end of the game, then you go for it, not the other way around.
I'm somewhere in the middle where, like, if the situation's favorable, if you're on their side of midfield and it's like 4th and 1, 4th and 2, sure, go for it. If you're confident in your play call, go for it. But if not, either take the points or punt the ball and pin them back.
He was doing it on like 4th and 5, I think.
Yeah, man, Dan Campbell during that Eagles game, man, I think his balls just got too big for him.
Yeah.
I think they got too big for the wheelbarrow he was trying to carry him in.
South Park reference.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Listen, I might be like 13 years younger than you, but I've got some references.
Oh, you're good. I think Lions win a lot, like 20, 26, 27, 28 to like 14, 10, something like that. I think Jameis Winston's going to have a rough time against this Lions team.
This is going to be my game where I could see the wider margin of victory. I could see the Lions decking 40.
Maybe
I could see a 40-14 game out of this. I know what I said earlier about this game, but I could easily see, knowing where everything is, I could see something like a 34-14, 40-14, some stupid number like that. Detroit's going to be pissed.
Well, yeah, I can see it. The next game would be Bears and Pittsburgh, right?
Man, this has been the one game that I just can't figure out who I think is going to win this, because Pittsburgh has looked so mid this year. They are so mid, and like their defense has been bad, but they played really good against the Colts. It's I like Pittsburgh is bottom half of the league here in defense. Points per game, they're bottom half. Yards per game, let me pull this up real quick. They're bottom 5. Like, Pittsburgh's defense has not been good this year. But, I mean, Chicago's offense has been really, really start and stop this year, even if they are 4th in total yards. Like, they're doing some good things. It feels like they're having the growing pains that a lot of second-year quarterbacks have. What I have noticed, though, and this will play against the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially with T.J. Watt, Caleb Williams has cut his sack rate in half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Bears are playing really good football. Ben Johnson's the real deal for Chicago. There's this Steeler bullshit that just tells me they're gonna find some stupid way to pull this out, especially like if A-Rod plays. I mean, A-Rod owns the Bears. But I don't know if A-Rod's going to play this week.
If he plays, I still think the Bears can win this game.
I think they can too.
I just don't know what team is going to show up for Pittsburgh? Are they going to be the bland mashed potatoes, or are they going to be like potato salad? Like, I don't know what they're going to be. Sorry, that was a weird reference, but
No, you're good.
we go on.
I will say, so A-Rod's questionable.
I think the Bears win.
I think they do too. I think it's a very, very close game, though.
It's gonna be it's gonna be like 19-16.
I was gonna say it's gonna be that type of game. I'm willing to say I'm willing to go 20-18 on this. I think Chicago does just enough at home.
We're both in that little echelon, 19-16.
Yeah, well, both of these defenses. I mean, Chicago's defense has been playing well this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting a lot of fucking takeaways too.
Mm-hmm.
Which is big, especially the way Rodgers has kind of been playing, especially with an injured Rodgers if he plays, or even a Mason Rudolph. You know, Rudolph's a backup. Rudolph, the red-nosed Steeler, may become Rudolph, the 2-interception man, because this Bears defense is picking motherfuckers off left and right.
They're underrated, I think, the Bears
For
defense.
sure. I don't see a lot of people talking about how good this Bears defense has been this year.
Yeah,
I mean, I go pull them up, and I mean, okay, you know, yards per game, they're not great. I think the Bears are almost like the 2023 Broncos, where they are living and dying by the turnovers. Because I don't know if you remember in 2023, the Broncos had that 5-game stretch where the defense just forced an absolutely absurd amount of turnovers that kept them in games, even though they weren't really good that year. Because that was the year they got 70-20'd by Miami.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't particularly good that year, obviously, but they were forcing a lot of turnovers. I don't know if that's sustainable for Chicago, where they're giving up 26.4. I think this Steelers offense, though, is one that they can kind of not stifle fully, but definitely put to rest.
I think that's very true. I think the Bears, turnover wise, they're a very like opportunistic, very bend don't break.
Absolutely.
Run game is solid. There's not like a barn burner on the running side of things, but they're consistent. The problem is Caleb Williams and whether or not he shows up before the fourth quarter.
Yeah, because I mean the Bears have been like the Broncos too, where they've been doing their fourth quarter bullshit magic.
That's just every team. It feels like every good team this year has been doing that type of thing. But I think,
especially where there's so much parity this year, where there's no one team that you can point at and say, "Oh yeah, they're for sure going to the Super Bowl."
Yeah, definitely.
Like the one team that I think I could even say that about is the Rams, and even then, I mean, they picked off Darnold 4 times, and that was still a 2-point game at the end.
They are very good. We'll get to them later.
We'll get to them.
Yeah. I think we're on the late games now, right?
No, we still got one more morning window.
How many morning games?
Yeah, dude, Scott Hansen is going to have his hands full on Red Zone in the morning window. We got Pats Bengals as the last game in the morning window. Pats. Drake May is going to make mincemeat of that Bengals defense. I don't care if Joe Burrow's playing. If Burrow's playing, he's coming off an injury. He's going to be rusty. Probably still going to be hurting a little bit, even if he's good. And that defense is not going to do enough because the Bengals are the Cowboys of the AFC, where the offense, if they don't play perfect, they're losing that game.
Could you imagine a Bengals defense and a Titans offense together?
Brother, that's like
that's
76 to 77 Tampa Bay Buccaneers territory.
Like the Bengals defense is the epitome of dumpster fire.
Turnstile.
Turnstile,
but like cardboard turnstile.
Screen door on a submarine. Like there's
I mean it's a full-scale meltdown. It's a Chernobyl level meltdown for the Bengals on defense.
I wouldn't even have Burrow start the rest of the season.
I wouldn't
either.
Pit? It's my dog.
Hi, doggy. Is that a pit bull?
Yeah. Her name is Bagel.
Oh. Hi, Bagel. Probably can't hear me, but
No.
That's a cute dog.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Pats in this one, and it's not I touchdown game probably. I'd be happy to call this 28-21.
I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I am worried that the Bengals offensive line won't be able to hold up, and that could doom them, and it could be a blowout.
Mm-hmm. This is a game that could get away from the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. I would just bench Burrow for the rest of the season. You're losing to he's going to be 29 next year, right?
Or
You're losing another
something like that. Yeah, it's another year wasted of his prime, just with injuries and bad defenses.
Yeah, that poor guy. He's basically Marino,
Oh,
but
yeah.
but an even worse situation.
All right, so next game here on this, we're finally into the afternoon. People are finally getting lunch in them. It's good time to be watching football, sitting there with your sandwich or whatever you like to have for lunch. We got Browns Raiders, just an absolute appetite killer, I think. I mean, you want to talk about a U tree style tank bowl. That's what this game is so far. And I will say, watching the Raiders is so infuriating this year. Not because I want them to be good, but just because, like, Ashton Genty.
I think the Browns are going to win.
You think Shedur's got it in his first start against Max Crosby?
No, but I just think the Browns defense is better than the Raiders offense.
That's true. I will say, okay, I saw this stat, funny enough, while I was at the gym. They run ESPN on one of the TVs. Browns quarterbacks in their first start are 0-17. They've got a 16-22 interception or touchdown to INT ratio.
Could it be a tie?
It could be.
I really don't think any team can win this game. I think it's going to be a game where I think it's going to be a race to the team that doesn't want to win it more.
It's a race to 7 points.
I could actually see this being a 7-3 game.
I could too. I think these offenses are so bad, and I think I don't even think the Raiders' defense is that good, but I think I think it's good enough to shut down Shedur in his first start.
I think so too, but I just don't trust the Raiders' offense at all.
Oh, I don't either. I wouldn't be shocked if this game is decided by a Geno Smith pick six.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna be optimistic here and say it's a 10-3 game. Browns get a defensive touchdown.
7-3.
7-3. We are in agreement. Cleveland wins this.
Yes.
Easily.
I think so. It's going to be a boring game for Raiders and Browns fans. I apologize.
It's either that.
I apologize to Browns fans.
Listen, it's either that or the two worst teams in the league, other than the Titans, are going to play one of the greatest offensive shootouts we've ever seen. There's no in between. I feel like bad teams are always due for some bullshit, amazing, absolute cinema type of game.
Like the Bengals and the Browns with over, what was it, like 100 points?
Yeah, some crazy shit like that. I just don't think it's going to be this one.
No, it's a very low scoring game.
Yeah, for sure. Let's talk about ooh, spit went down the wrong tube there. Ay. We got Jags Cardinals, man. Jacoby Brissett coming off of setting the completions record for a single game while throwing 2 picks and a 19-point loss. What do we even... I mean, let's start with the Jaguars here. What do we make of the Jags? I mean, this is a team that beat Kansas City, and then I feel like has lost some pretty weird games this year. Let me go pull up their schedule.
I will say that it all just depends on which Trevor Lawrence shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the guy that throws 1 pick, the 1 touchdown, or 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, or 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions? I think he throws too many picks is what I'm trying to get at. And I think he's going to throw at least 1 because that's just what Trevor Lawrence does. And
I just don't think T-Law is consistent enough.
That's what I think. Depends on the run game. Run game if they could get 140 something yards again from ETN and Tootin combined, then they have a shot to win this game.
I'm right there with you, and I mean this Jags defense, like they're okay, they're not bad. They're top half of the league there. Arizona is in that bottom half of the league there. Let's see, bottom 12 of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean Arizona's not that great. They get a lot of yards. They just cannot put points on the board. I mean yards per game, they're up there. They're right behind Denver, actually, believe it or not, and that's still like top half of the league there. Let's see. Let me count. 4, 8,
How many?
12. Yeah. Like they're 14th in yards, but I mean points per game, they're sitting 22-4, and that's got them good enough for that bottom 16 of the league there, where it's just like they're getting yards, but they can't finish drives, and that's been the Cardinals all season. Whether it's Kyler Murray or Jacoby Brissett, which I do think Jacoby Brissett has been a better quarterback than Kyler Murray this season, at like 100%. Defensively, the Jags kind of same situation with the offense. Like they're okay. They're not awful. They're not mind-blowing by any means. I like Josh Allen in their defense. I really, really like Josh Allen. In the Cards, Devin Lloyd is an outstanding linebacker. And then the Cards are, again, kind of in that, bottom 12, bottom 13 category, at least in terms of yards per game. We go look at points per game here. Jacksonville's pretty good, only 22.6, and then you got Zona down with, they're in the bottom 8 here, giving up 25-6.
This is a very winnable game for Jacksonville, but it's also one I could see them losing.
Absolutely. I don't want to say trap game, but it kind of feels like that for the Jags, and I don't know if the Jags are really built to, like, survive trap games, if that makes sense. Like, they've had some weird losses. They played some weird games. Like, this is a team that in back-to-back weeks won in San Francisco. Granted, it was a very injured San Francisco. That was September 28th. And then in the next week, beat Kansas City. And then went on to get, they lost by 8 to the Seahawks in Jacksonville, got blown out by the Rams in Jacksonville, just to turn around and win a 30-29 shootout with the Raiders that goes to overtime. That game was crazy, by the way. And then blow a massive lead to the Texans. So I think that Jekyll and Hyde extends further than Trevor Lawrence. I think it's just the Jaguars that are as inconsistent. Because, I mean, you lost to the Bengals. They're weird. The Jags weird me out a little bit. They feel like a 7 seed sort of team, like a 7 seed on the bubble type of team.
Or it's, in my opinion, I think this is going to be like a 34-31 type of game, just because what I've seen. They let the Raiders score, how many points?
29.
29. I could see that happening. I think the Jaguars win, but it's not going to be pretty.
I don't know if the Cards are going to be able to finish drives to put up that many points. I weirdly see this, and I mean, we'll agree on the victor, but I think the score we're going to disagree on. This feels like a 21-15 game that the Jags win.
That would be more likely. Because
maybe 24, maybe like 24-17.
I just don't trust Trevor Lawrence, and I have never trusted Trevor Lawrence.
The Cards' defense isn't that good, though.
Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. 27, like 16-15.
I'm happy to call this a 24-17 Jags win.
Yeah.
The Cards can't finish drives at all.
Okay.
They cannot. I have seen so many times with the Cardinals on TV where they get down like inside of the 5 or inside of the 10 and they can't punch it in.
Yeah.
I am very, very willing to say it's a 24-17 type game that the Jags I think will win. Watch, we're going to say this and then we're going to look like idiots next week when the Cardinals put up 37 points.
And win the game.
And win the game by 20. You never know. I almost started talking about another Jags game there because I have their schedule up. Let's, yeah. So this one, and I'm going to let you take the lead on this one. Eagles Cowboys in Dallas in the 2:25 slot. What do you got for me?
Dallas in week 1 was 4 dropped passes away from winning that game. I have this could be a trap game for the Eagles.
I could very well see it, especially with the reinforcements now on defense that Dallas has.
Mm-hmm. I think if the Dallas Cowboys want to win this game, they got to force 3 and outs, which the Eagles are number 1. They're like highest in a long time in 3 and outs.
As a Broncos fan, that's shocking. I've seen a lot of 3 and outs this year.
And they're going to have to score points with Dak. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game again.
Really?
I don't think the Eagles figure it out this week. I think it's going to be they'll get more points than they did against the Lions. I think it's going to be a 20 to 13 game. It's going to be close. And it's more to do with the offense of the Eagles, and I don't think Dak can overcome this Eagles defense.
If you want to know my honest opinion, and maybe I'm misreading, this feels like that upset game of the week. One of them.
I could see it happening.
It's in Dallas, and I need to see more from this Dallas defense because they played the Raiders last week with their new additions, especially Quinnen Williams. But with how weird the Eagles' offense has been this year, with Saquon not playing the same, this to me feels like the kind of game where Philadelphia just gets in their own way a little bit, and the defense can't bail them out because this Dallas offense is wicked. Man,
They're number 2.
It's Pickens, CeeDee, and Jake Ferguson. And, Javonte Williams, and I'm happy for the guy personally. Javonte's having a resurgent season in Dallas. This feels like a weird type of game where Dallas comes out with their best against a division rival at home, a desperate team on the bubble trying to get back into the wild card picture. And it just feels like the kind of game that the Eagles are going to drop this year.
There's a feeling in me that says it. The only thing that's making me say maybe not is the Lions were the number 2 offense last week.
True.
And
that Philadelphia defense is wicked.
It's going to come down to the Eagles offense. Can they have enough points? Do they have enough firepower to get past the Dallas offense?
Me personally, and this is the way I look at it, I like Schottenheimer more than I do Campbell as a play caller.
I wasn't that high on Schottenheimer, but I really like the way he handled the Marshawn Newland thing and the way he's handled this team.
I mean, all things considered, I think he's done a great job with the Cowboys, especially this offense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not gonna love me here, but this feels like a 23-20 Dallas win for me.
Hey, first time we don't agree, and that's all right.
And we need some conflict on this podcast.
We do, man, and we need to there's a part of me that agrees with you that they're going to lose this game, but as an Eagles fan, I've got to.
You got to back your boys.
Kind of, yeah. Basically, I'm hoping.
No, and I get that, and I could be totally wrong. It just has the setup to me for that kind of a game.
They usually go 1-1. They usually go 1-1,
and that's how the NFC East has always been. I feel like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I could see that definitely.
Couple of games left here on this preview episode here. 2:25 window. It's the last afternoon game that kicks off. Falcons, Saints. I don't have faith in the Falcons.
I have the Saints winning this one.
I do too. I think I will say this Falcons pass rush at times this season has been fucking ridiculous. I mean, this is the same team that Like this same team has lost both games to the Panthers, but beat the Buffalo Bills. Like the Falcons are so infuriatingly confusing. They don't have Michael Penix, and Kirk Cousins has not looked good in 3 years?
Since the Achilles, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Since that Achilles,
that?
since that Achilles injury, really, he has not been the same quarterback. I mean, as much as I really do, for the most part, like the Falcons' defense, some of the work they've done this year, they've been so inconsistent, and I think I can't talk. I think Raheem Morris has lost his guys. Like I don't think this locker room is playing for him. I think they know that he's on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's another decent Tyler Shutt game.
I think so too. I think the Saints. I like Kellen Moore. Like, there's a reason that
I do
he's
too.
the head coach of the Saints.
I will say, as bad as the Saints have been this year, as bad as it's been, those guys are still playing hard for him. They're still playing close games. They went out and beat what could possibly be a playoff-bound NFC South winning Panther team, which we'll talk about why that could be here in a minute. Yeah, I've got the Saints at home, man. It's not going to be a pretty game. This feels like a 20, to me at least, like a 20-14 type of game. I just don't think Kirko has the juice, which is crazy. Like this Falcons offense, there's so much talent. The Falcons, to me, have you seen those potential man memes?
No, I have not.
You got to go find him for context. But the Falcons to me are potential man, and they are just not living up to potential. They have been so underwhelming this year, and I think this Saints game is just the cherry on top of that. I think the Saints, I think the Saints pull out some stupid 21-16 win. I just can't buy into Seattle right now, or into Atlanta. Sorry.
I see potential, man. That's pretty funny.
I can't buy into Atlanta. I think they're cleaning house after the year.
I think so too. I really think the Saints win this game. I think it's going to be a 17-16 type of game. It'll be
That's fair.
1 point game.
I was gonna say 2017, 21-17, that kind of game. But I've got the Saints. I can't buy into the Falcons this year. Now we're gonna look stupid when the Falcons win 42-6.
Is anybody gonna remember?
Maybe not 2 weeks from now, but well, we were talking about Tampa Bay. We were bringing them up a little bit here when we were talking about the Panthers, who we will get to slightly later. They're on that Monday night game, but we get to Buccaneers-Rams. Tampa going on the road to LA. They're coming off of a couple of rough losses to some AFC East opponents, AFC East. I mean, where do we start with this Tampa team, man?
Injured does not
injured to hell.
Mm.
I mean, Baker Mayfield can only do so much. And Baker Mayfield has played some ridiculous football this year.
And it's not even his fault that
it's not. This offense is holding up its end of the bargain. If you're putting up 30-plus points, you should be winning games. This Tampa defense, man, it's just been a rough go with all the injuries for them. They're, what is this? 4... they're bottom 12, bottom 11 in defensive yards per game, points per game. I don't think it gets much better for them. They are bottom half of the league on this one, bottom 11 at at 25 points flat per game. They're tied with the Saints in points per game. Yet this is a team with a winning record because of what Baker Mayfield has done for them. And early in the year, the whole narrative was Baker Mayfield comeback kid. I think this Rams team is too much for Tampa, especially the defense, where you've got Matt Stafford playing a borderline MVP season in a year with no clear-cut MVP. Puka Nacua does Puka Nacua stuff. Devontae Adams has been great for him. Kyron Williams in that rushing attack has been great for him. And then that defense has been nuts. I mean, Jared Verse is so good. He's going to win a DPOY within the next 4 years.
Oh, definitely. I could see him winning it next year.
Absolutely.
But
I think Myles Garrett had that locked up this year just because of how goddamn good he's playing. But I definitely think Jared Verse has got a DPOY in him in the next 3 to 4.
yeah, it's going to be a Lions Buccaneers type game where Baker Mayfield's going to get shellacked.
Probably.
It's not. And Tampa could pull this out. Remember, they barely beat Seattle.
Yeah. I think this Bucs defense, like, they're going to have to force turnovers. They're going to have to force Matt Stafford to play how he did against Seattle, and this Rams offense to play how they did against Seattle. I just don't know if it's there for him.
I picked the Rams to win this.
I've got the Rams. This could either be like a defensive beatdown where the Bucs just can't get anything going, or it's going to be one of those crazy shootouts that we've seen the Rams be in multiple of within the past 10 years. I think of that Chiefs Rams game 2018, probably one of the greatest games ever played. I've got Rams 30-27. It's got the feel of a shootout.
It does.
This Bucs offense is talented, man.
How many? Who's injured on their team?
On the Bucs? Oh yeah, maybe go pull that up.
If Godwin and Bucky Irving are not in, and that offensive line still hurt, they're gonna score like 9 points.
That's fair. Yeah, I am waiting for the injury report to load. Oh, okay. Their center was full participant. He had an illness. He was full Thursday, Friday, so he's probably playing. Braswell, linebacker, he was full on Friday, so he's probably good. Their guard, Ben Bredson, he's probably questionable. He was limited Thursday, Friday. Jamel Dean's probably out. He's a DNP with a hip injury. Egbuka, probably good to go. He had an illness as well. He was full. Dan Freeney, their guard, same thing, full practice. Godwin was limited. He was full on Thursday, limited Friday. He probably plays. He's been limited, full, limited.
Okay. And Bucky Irving's okay?
Bucky Irving, he's been limited all week.
He's probably not playing. Shootout. I think slight chance that Tampa wins this game, just based on what
I think Tampa's got a shot. I could see it being a 20 or being a 30-27 game either way. I've got the Rams just because they're at home.
I got the Rams.
I think they and I mean if my predictions are right here, I mean that would put the Rams at the 1 seed.
I got Rams at home.
I do as well. Final game of the week, man. We finally made it. I said we were going to go a half an hour, and here we are 1 hour and 13 minutes later, getting into our last game of the pilot episode that at this point I'm totally uploading.
I got to do some editing and then upload it myself.
Yeah, we'll do I'm not going to cut a whole lot out. I'll go cut down like the countdown from the pause, obviously. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like I think we've done great so far. Let's keep her rolling. Panthers, Niners. This goes one of two ways. Carolina pulls out a crazy game that nobody saw coming, or Carolina gets the shit beat out of them in San Francisco. Niners are getting healthy. They are. I think they're going to have Pearsall back here soon. They've got Brock Purdy back, who looked really, really good last week. Just crazy efficiency numbers on his part. Now, obviously, that Niner defense has not been great with all the injuries they've suffered this season. They're holding it together, though. Robert Saleh's doing a good job with them so far. They're middle of the pack in points per game, 22.9 yards per game, though, and we saw the Rams do this to them. You can absolutely break this Niners defense, especially without Fred Warner. It really comes down to, Bryce Young. Are you going to get 450-yard Bryce Young, or are you going to get 102 and 2 pick Bryce Young?
As a person who picked the Carolina Panthers as a dark horse team, I'm going to go with Carolina.
You think they got the juice?
I hope so.
I like that young offense. I can't buy into Bryce Young yet. My thing with Bryce Young, I need to see consistency. I need
Same
to
here.
see him stack good games. Now, do I need him to throw for 400 yards again? No. No. But I need to see him go for at least have some efficient numbers for maybe 200 yards, maybe a touchdown. But I mean, the Panthers are going to ride Rico Dowdle.
Look,
it's the same thing with the Panthers are like the Colts, like what the great value version of the Colts almost, where their entire offense runs through that running game. And Rico Dowdle has been an absolute monster. Now, I think they threw a couple of games trying to get Chuba Hubbard going, to be honest with you.
mm-hmm.
But Rico Dowdle has been an absolute maniac for the Panthers this year. I think if there is a game where they can walk into somewhere and prove a point, I think it's this one. That Niners defense is not great.
I have credibility on the line.
So credibility on the line. You're gonna hold them down? You're gonna hold them down?
I'm gonna hold them down.
You know what?
I'm going all in.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I'll put a hand in, and I will ride this Panthers train with you. Give me Carolina 24-20, baby.
24-20. I'll take it.
24-20, Panthers win on the road. Fuck it, I'll go down on the ship with you.
My captain.
Oh, captain, my captain.
Oh, captain, my captain. Yeah.
Oh, that is wonderful. Absolutely.
We're either going to look really good or we're going to look really
We're
bad
going to look like
game.
complete morons, or we're going to look like Albert Einsteins of football. Man.
I will clip it if I'm right. If we're right.
I will too. I'll make a short about it too. Man, I gotta ask, just before we get out of here, do you got anything coming out here in the near future? Anything to look out for?
Streaming on Sunday.
Okay.
I'll be doing the Eagles, Cowboys. I might do I might do Niners and Panthers, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because
okay.
Also, I will be putting out an Eagles post-game, and then I'll have the Dumpster Fire Awards, a Power Rankings on Thursday, and then an Eagles preview against the Bears.
Hell yeah. Well, if my audience on my end is interested in that, go check out Trenton with Hilltime Sports. We're going to start doing this regularly. This was an amazing first episode. I'm going to be doing Colts Chiefs on Sunday. Mm-hmm. I kind of owe that one to Ender Games a little bit. So if he sees this, I got you, buddy. But yeah, I'm going to be doing that, and then I'll probably have some Bronco shorts coming out throughout the week. I might try and start doing like prediction shorts a little bit and just like some preview stuff. With that, I'm still kind of trying to find like my midweek uploads a little bit, especially where I work so much. But yeah, I mean, if you don't have any other closing remarks, I think that's just gonna about do her.
Yeah, we actually did really. I just gotta trim out that whole like pause because I couldn't figure out how to pause.
Yeah, and that's what editing's for. Man, well, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Trenton, for reaching out and wanting to do this with me. I think we got something cooking here, to be completely honest.
I think so too, dude. Like, really wanted to connect with someone and like, share the journey with,
Absolutely.
This is really fun.
This is going to be great. Yeah, go check out Trenton Hill and his channel on Hilltime Sports. I will leave a link to his channel, or more a tag to his channel, in the description down below. If you enjoy my content as well, don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that, I think that's going to about do her. Have a good night, everybody. Have a good night, Trenton. And we will see you all in the next video. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. We'll get the outro down eventually.
We will. We're still working on it.
We're still, yeah.